Hello, welcome to your weekend reading for 28th and 29th of June 2025. And I'm sticking with these cards because I felt like, I don't know, I feel like they have a lot to offer at the moment. Sometimes that happens with a deck. And also one fell out while I was trying to get them together, and it's the Tower. And I always think as well that this is a particularly towery tower, isn't it? It's got that sort of, I don't know, there's something about it that's just not messing around. I think we talked about this the other day, or maybe it was in, I can't remember actually, it could have been in one of the monthlies. Check out the monthly readings. I add to them every day. There's a playlist below. And one of them we had a tower, or it could have been a daily. And it was like, now that's a tower, because it was, you know, it was from that spooky set, the this one, Gothic Tarot. It was like, we're not messing about, lightning strikes a gargoyle, let's go. And this one is very similar. It's like we have two bolts of lightning, people have flung out of it, fire and brimstone, and to cap it all, you're falling into the sea as well. It's like, okay, that's a bad day at the office, one way or the other. But the Tower comes as a bolt out of the blue, and also it can be really, really sudden. So it can be a turn of events where you think, wow, I did not see that coming. But it can also be where the universe has been gradually knocking out brick by brick this tower. And it's a bit like Jenga. There's just one bit, and then the universe is like, go on then. And then suddenly you know. So let's have a look at what the Tower's going on about. What do we need to know? What is it all about? Okay. It's very hot in here, by the way. I know some of you have asked why I haven't got a fan. I have many fans. But you can't have them on. They're very loud when you have the video on. Even when the boy had a fan on yesterday, it vibrated through the floor. It was like, I came in here to do the filming and it was going, I was like, God, what is that? I know people do sanding and stuff, but what is that? And it was the boy because he's up there, which is even hotter. So he had two fans going, like one pointing this way, the other one pointing that way. He's got his big computer, which creates quite a lot of heat. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot, hot. Okay. First of all, for the Tower, we get the Page of Swords. When we get the Page of Swords, it's to do with communication because we've got Mercury. It's to do with the messages that come in. So whatever the message is, we have that. But it's also to do with information, communication, something that's in the works. So it can be, because you also get it with Mr. Pawntash here, the 8 of Pentacles. Love this card. Love this deck, actually. When you get it with the 8 of Pentacles, it's working out what to say. And you may have been very careful about not saying something, or somebody else has and you're aware of it, and you're thinking, why won't they just spit it out? Why don't they just tell me the thing? Why don't they just say? And let's have a look. There's a reason for it, but I don't get it. There's something you don't get here. Either you don't get it or they don't get it. But someone's trying to work out what to say. Which makes the Tower somewhat of a revelation. Yes! Ring ding a ding a ding a ding dong. And a swing up the crown chakra. That's just the card you want, actually. Because Ace of Swords, this doesn't mess about either. We've got a bit of cosmic hand, bit of cosmic poofiness. Woof, here we are. Ace of Swords. This is it. It's clarity like you've not had before in a situation that was possibly kind of cloudy. And it can be because you're not saying what you want, or it could be because they're not saying what they want. And this could be anything, love, work, whatever. Neither of you is able to say what you want. And that's making it all a bit of a kerfuffle. The universe has been trying to point you in the right direction to find out, but it hasn't been enough. Okay, tell us more. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, slightly a bit about yesterday's reading, because we get the star. I know, I fashioned the dress. I'm no artist, that's for sure. We get the star. So the star is about manifesting something. It's about wishing on a star. It's about hoping for something. It's in combination with the Six of Cups. Do you remember yesterday we had Judgment? Today we have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups and Judgment kind of go together. They play off each other, and they're all Back to the Future type cards. So when we look at this, and we can look at the cards, slightly wonky, but we could look at the cards if I straighten them out. You can see that you've got the Tower, you've got something that needs to be said, but it's kind of still, the page is the most junior of the court cards, so it's still in the makings, working out what to say. But then there is the clarity, which may or may not come from a conversation. The clarity doesn't always come from what somebody says. Sometimes it comes from somewhere else. If you've got the Tower, it could come from any direction and anywhere. And then we've got the star. It's good if you can manifest. It's good if you can imagine the clarity that you want coming into you. Or if you can't, chucking it up to Mike is all part of the star. But just reminding us here that there's something, there's a tie to the past that's being kind of worked and looked at here. Let's have a shaman's dream to go with it. I feel like that might work. Oh God, it's so funny, this card. It's so weird. The Galactic Mushroom, the Divine Matrix. This card, for me, I quite like this card, and I quite get this card as well, even though it's really freaking strange, as a lot of the cards in this deck are. When you get this, think about the film The Matrix, which, to be honest, I both understood and didn't understand. Like, I kind of philosophically got it in a sort of networky web kind of a way. But also, if you'd asked me for a storyline, I couldn't have given it to you. But this, I have a similar understanding of. That there is, and we get, and I'd like to know your thoughts on this as well, without getting my tinfoil hat out and everything. I do feel at times the difference between the 3D that we live in, the bricks, the mortar, the pavements, the people, and something else. I don't know what the something else is, but I know there's a difference. And that's as far as I sort of get with it, apart from obviously tarot sometimes bridges it. Other things do. But just know that when you get the Six of Cups and you get the Galactic Mushroom card, I know, that there's a lot. I go back to dry rot, okay? So I go back to when there is dry rot in a house and it's been there a really long time. You may get a mushroom showing up, as I did in the kitchen years and years and years ago. And you look at it and think, wow, there's a mushroom in my kitchen. That's not good. And then the man comes round, or the woman comes round, lifts up the floorboards, and that dry rot has been growing underneath in these long, whispery fronds, until the fronds did so much growing that they met each other, so that it's almost Ouroboros. and where they meet each other, a fruiting body of a mushroom occurs. There is a point to this. The situation that you're in, there are fronds of unseen matrices. This is mad, isn't it? It goes this way some days. What can I do? Underneath the everyday. And you don't have to understand it, and you don't need to drive yourself insane trying to understand it, because I don't know how much worth that has, or if we even can in our sort of everyday human language. We can sense it, but I don't know. All attempts I've ever seen to explain it haven't been great. Let me know your thoughts on that. But when you get the Six of Cups, that's what it's trying to tell you. If you feel like there's a lot more to this situation than meets the eye, you're right. If you think that you can find out what it is verbally, it's unlikely, but you may get an aha moment which pierces through the veil and gives you a ping, which sometimes lasts for seconds and sometimes for longer. And sometimes that's enough to shift things. Whew. Right, I'm going to go and have a lie down, because I enjoyed that actually. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.